Your father is very famous slash infamous
Slash notorious.
slash notorious
Hmm.
um in the hood, you know, within hip hop music. His name has been quoted multiple times along with, you know, other people like Pappy Mason,
Hmm.
um, and just the organization, the Supreme Team in general.
Hmm.
Um, what what was it like growing up under that type of shadow? Like, when did you find out that your pops was supreme? You know what I mean? And start and not just a regular father, you know what I mean? And then and when you start hearing the stories.
Okay, so I didn't find out to maybe I want to say 10 years old, 10 or 11. I was in a
Mm.
barber. I was in a barber. Like my
Uh,
mother, my mother. I was in
Now let
private
me
school.
say that's pretty late to find out.
Yeah, definitely,
That's pretty
definitely.
late. Okay.
Um, Obviously, he was in jail for the longest since 2002. So it wasn't like he was raising me or anything like that. So
So wait, as long as you remember, he was in jail. Like when you were born,
yeah,
you was in
he
jail.
probably no. He probably went to jail when I was like 5 or 6.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
So
he
you got
wasn't. He
vague
didn't.
memories,
Yeah,
or
it's
you
vague.
kind of
It's definitely no. It's
okay.
vague. Definitely vague. It's not like crystal clear.
Right.
But
Right. 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 Right.
but I was in a barber shop or whatever on Merrick Boulevard. Everybody that live in Queens know Merrick Boulevard next
I
Millennium.
remember
And
Merrick. Mm-hmm.
a couple of the barbers in there. They know my pops. They cut his hair. They was cool with him. They used to work for him. Whatever the case may be. So like I get a lot of love in this barbershop. I'm just thinking, they giving me love because I'm a kid from the neighborhood. I'm not really registering and processing none of the information, but they always show me love. People will come in there, they'd be like, "Oh, that's Preem son, that's this, that, and the third." Because around the same time, my uncle had just came home from doing 19 years or whatever. He was also a member of the Supreme Team. So around the time he came home, I was going everywhere with him. Like I wasn't really outside like that. I was a good kid. I played baseball. I was going to school in Manhattan. I never was really moving around Queens like that. My mother wanted to isolate me and have me off in Manhattan. She didn't want me falling under the realms of the Supreme shit and all that. She didn't want me falling into that lane. So she
So
had
you
me
were going to
in the
like private school, yes?
yeah, yeah. I went to private school. Yeah, so my whole entire life. Yeah, and
Mm.
so I was going to the different hoods with my uncle driving around. Then me going to the barber shop, and then I'm like, yo, Preem, why everybody keeps saying I'm Preem son? Who's this Preem guy? So I looked them up online. Then I went to my mom, like, yo, mom, like, you got to tell me the stories, like, what's going on? Like, who is this guy everybody keep talking about? Oh, they in the barber shop, yo, he looked just like him. Like, I'm hearing the whispers and the chatters, yo, he looked just like him. Oh my God, that's Preem. Oh, I'm hearing, so I'm talking to my mother. So my mother broke it down to me. I got like 7 different versions. I got a different version from my aunt. I got a version from my mother. I got a version from my uncle that just like came home. I got the different versions from the guys that was coming to the barbershop, and then Black Just, and then I guess around this time, like my dad was about to go to trial, maybe like a year and a half after I found out or whatever, he was going to trial in '07. So Black Just son, Jashawn, like him and my dad was in like heavy communication. So he called Jashawn like, yo, go get him, like bring him to the neighborhood, bring him around. Like he don't need to be up under his mother and them females his whole entire life. Like let him be around some other different type of shit. So just came to my crib. He put me to Basie Projects, and I was ever since then I just been outside, and I just was presented like, okay, you're Preem son, okay, like what are you gonna do now? And this is all being presented and thrown and cast upon me at fucking 13 years old. Mind you, I'm not a
Right.
grown man. I'm not in my 20s. I'm fucking 13 years old, and they just put me to the wolves. Like, okay, go be great now. Okay, your Preem son, go be a fucking legend now at 13. So it was like a lot
Right.
of fucking like the weight of the world was on my shoulders because I'm like, how am I like what like I'm lost now. Like I never been outside before. Like I play baseball. I'm a center fielder. Like you get what
You
I'm saying?
never
Like
been
how?
outside. You've been going to a private school all this time, and it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like here you go, your preem son. Like Do you want to be the
Yeah.
do
Do
you
you
want
want
to
to be
run
the
some
heir
shit?
apparent? Yeah. Do you want to be
Right.
the heir
Do you want to
apparent?
be the heir apparent to the throne?
Yeah.
And you're like, hey guys, I'm just a kid. Like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
And like grown men, like the grown men is like they telling me all these fucking war stories and all this great shit. I'm like, yo, like I'm like flabbergasted and like overwhelmed with stories from 95 different people within a week time span, and it's like overwhelming. Like what the hell, bro?
So how did you feel? What I mean, what was there a part of you that felt scared by this? Was there a part of you that felt
I was in awe. Like
tempted by it?
I
Like,
was
oh
definitely.
shit, I might could be ill nigga out here. You know what I mean? Like
I felt
I'm just
like
keeping it real. Like I don't know. Like
yeah,
tell me
yeah.
what was going through your mind.
Um.
Cause that
So when
shit
I'm
could be
hearing
scary too, bro.
these stories, I just felt like inspired and motivated. Like I'm not hearing about allegedly him, the dealer and the kingpin. I'm not hearing about those stories. I'm hearing about the cars he was driving. I'm hearing about him directing these movies. I'm hearing about him being in the industry. I'm hearing about him doing basketball tournaments. I'm hearing about him opening up
Mm.
barbershops. I'm hearing about the women. Like I'm hearing all this shit. So I'm like, yo, like it's like a
You hearing
like
about the
they basically
flash shit.
yeah, they telling me a movie. Like he's literally a movie, bro. He's a walking movie, and they're telling me this shit. So I'm like, yo, like, in my mind, because you know what's so crazy? His birthday is 2 days after mine. Like my birthday is September 17th, his birthday is September 19th. So I feel like we have a soup. Aside from me being his son, me and him being the same sign, I feel like we're so similar. So
What
in my
sign are y'all?
mind, we're Virgos.
Ah, same here.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, Virgo gang. So
What's your born day?
September 17th, 1995.
I'm September 17th, bro.
Get the fuck out of here.
Word is born to the father. 68.
Wow. My pops is the 19th, September 19th.
Come
So
on, bro. There's a lot of
yeah,
very
great Virgos. Great Virgos. Virgos is the
yes.
best.
Very,
Virgos is the best sign. I'm gonna be honest with you. Virgos are the
you
best
just said
sign.
you just said it. I
Kobe,
didn't say
Kobe, Michael
a
Jackson,
lot of people.
Beyonce. Like, come on, we can go. But
It
yeah, so
goes on and on. Nas, on and
yeah,
on. Dougie Fresh is the
yeah,
17th. Vinny
that's a
from Naughty
fact.
by Nature is the 17th. Um,
Wow.
yeah,
Wiz
there's a lot of
Khalifa,
people
Two
on
Chains.
that particular day is the 17th. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. So we was talking. What we was talking about? Oh yeah. So when I'm listening to all these
So
stories
you're
in my
hearing
mind,
the good stories. You're not hearing necessarily the some of the gangster shit.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
I heard those stories, but I really didn't care about that because the way I looked at myself, I always looked at myself like my mother had me wearing Gucci loafers and Pradas going to school. So I
Mm.
always felt like I was an ill nigga. Like even at 8, 9, 10 years old, like I'm feeling myself because my mother always had me in the. You get what I'm saying? I was like I was really spoiled. Like I'm the only child. I'm the youngest grandkid of 13 grandkids. Like I'm spoiled. So I always
Wow.
felt like I always felt like I was that dude. So me hearing those stories in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna be iller than that nigga. Like, I'm gonna get more girls than him. I'm gonna get more money than him. You feel my? So you know, a young kid thinking, well, I'm in my own brain. I'm in my own world right now. I'm like, I'm gonna
Right.
be iller than that. I'm like, I'm gonna be iller than that nigga. Like, so now with me telling myself that I was gonna be iller than him, I think I tried to. I think I tried to like do a little bit too much too early. Like I really was like running around like a chicken with my head cut off, like just trying to get into too much shit instead of me just trying to master and focus my school and my academics. I felt like I stopped caring about baseball. I stopped caring about, the shit that mattered to me before I realized who my dad was. Like, like I had a whole nother life before I realized who he was. But now I'm in my late teens and I'm feeling myself. I'm getting money. I'm talking to girls. Like I'm driving cars. I'm driving people from the project cars to school and shit like that. Like, and then when I'm not doing that, my mother driving me to school in the Range Rover. Like I'm feeling myself way too much. So I guess this is what my mother was trying to keep me from. Cause like all the shit that I cared about, I stopped caring about, and I just ventured off to a whole nother lane.
So I mean, did you try to dabble in hustling? Like, was that something that you tried to get into?
I never dabbled in hustling, but I definitely dabbled in scamming. Cause I'm from the era of scamming. I'm not from the era
Right.
of
That's what the
drug dealing
young
and all that
boys.
shit.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm not in the
Tell us
era of all
about that
that shit.
young boy shit, the swipey
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
Tell us
that
about the
yeah.
swipey.
I was definitely engaged in the swiping life, and it was really lucrative for me, and I definitely took advantage of it, and then it was good while it lasted, and then shit be good when it's good, and then when it get bad, it gets real bad. So, I had to like it statute of limitations. I'm good. It was a minute ago, but I had to I had to take a step back from that shit, and try to focus on and do some other shit. You got to be wise enough to know when to do it and when to get out and when to just chill out. You feel me? And I feel like I'm definitely wise enough to know when to say when.